With the release of Marvel's Black Widow movie, we finally know the answer to the film's biggest mystery. Who is Taskmaster?
He controls the Red Room. They're manipulated. Fully conscious, but no choices.
What's up, everybody? My name is Joshua Yale, and I'm going to recap everything we learned about this new MCU version of Taskmaster, explain the big twist, and compare this version to the very different comic book version of the character. Do your best Black Panther impression, and let's get to it.
I'm done running from my past.
If you're a Marvel Comics reader, then you probably expected Taskmaster to be mercenary Tony Masters, a gifted fighter with the natural-born ability to mimic the fighting style of anyone he sees. He first debuted in 1980 as a tricky Avengers villain and went on to become a combat instructor hired by both villains and heroes. That's why he often shows up in Marvel video games, to test the player with various challenges and give them a hard time along the way. He's known for being pretty snarky.
The name's Taskmaster, and you're about to get taken to school.
But as you've seen, the MCU threw most of that out the window and gave us a brand new take on the character.
Put your seatbelts on. She's such a mom.
That's right, after pursuing Natasha Romanoff throughout the movie wearing that creepy Skella helmet, Taskmaster is finally revealed to be Dreykov's daughter, Antonia, played by former Bond actress Olga Kurylenko. This was an unpredictable twist that created a brand new iteration of the character completely unique to the MCU. This Taskmaster still had the power of mimicry and the signature look, but underneath, things could not be more different. As it turns out, Black Widow's final mission in her defection to S.H.I.E.L.D. was to kill the leader of the Red Room, Dreykov. We learned that this was the mission in Budapest, or Budapest? I don't know, that's still up for debate. Anyways, that's the mission that was referenced back in the first Avengers movie.
Just like Budapest all over again.
You and I remember Budapest very differently.
For the mission, Natasha and Clint Barton rigged bombs to take out Dreykov. Tragically though, Natasha used young Antonia as a way to get to Dreykov and coldly considered her to be collateral damage. Little did she know, Dreykov survived and he saved Antonia's life so she could one day return with a vengeance. After Nat completed that mission, but not really, she shot it out with the Hungarian Special Forces and hid out with Hawkeye for 10 days before successfully escaping and starting her career as a S.H.I.E.L.D. spy and eventual Avenger. And suddenly, that scene from Avengers where Loki brings up Dreykov's daughter as a way to spook Natasha makes a lot more sense.
Can he wipe out that much red? Dreykov's daughter?
Meanwhile, Dreykov put Melina's mind control technology to use on Antonia, completely reprogramming her brain by putting a chip in the back of her neck and turning her into what he considers his greatest weapon, a powerful assassin capable of fighting like Earth's mightiest heroes. This Taskmaster became his tool reserved for high-priority missions, and we saw that Yelena defecting with a batch of mind control cure-all and sending it to Natasha called for Dreykov to activate the Taskmaster protocol. This is a huge departure from the comics, where instead of being a mercenary and teacher with his own free will, Taskmaster was a mindless drone programmed to execute orders with brutal efficiency and some sick moves. It's worth pointing out that the MCU Taskmaster is way stronger than the one in the comics. He was essentially a normal guy with slight enhancements, whereas she completely clobbered the superpowered Red Guardian and went undefeated the entire movie. And on that note, Taskmaster proved to be too much for Natasha, leaving her bruised and beaten after their battle on the bridge. It wasn't until their reunion on the flying Red Room Fortress that Natasha learned the truth and made it her mission to save Antonia. On a thematic level, this somewhat absolves Natasha of her greatest regret, killing a child to gain her own freedom, and it gave her a chance to redeem herself, at least on some level, by freeing Antonia from her father's control and giving her a second shot at life. This doesn't exactly remove all that red from Natasha's ledger, but she at least got rid of some, like with a Tide pen. At the end of the movie, Natasha uses her signature leg twirl attack to remove Taskmaster's helmet, allowing her to give Antonia the antidote and deliver the good news that her father, the man who turned her into a mindless killing machine, was finally gone for good. Antonia then joins the escaping widows and Natasha's family, where she'll get to start a new life of her own. We do not know where Taskmaster went with Nat's family, but it wouldn't surprise me to see her pop up again in the MCU. We know how Marvel works, it's practically a given at this point. Perhaps when we do meet her next, she'll be training the Black Widows to fight like the Avengers. Then she'd live up to the Taskmaster name and become a little more like the fan favorite comic book version. Well, that's all for our breakdown on the MCU's twisty-turny version of Taskmaster. Make sure to check out our other Black Widow videos, and for more Marvel, you're already in the right place, IGN.
I'm done running.